Good morning. Today's coffee quick, 2 days in a row. Feeling pretty good about that. You've probably already heard about this, but if you haven't, it's going to be pretty vital that you understand what it is and what it actually means, and actually I think what it foreshadows. And that paid advertising and remarketing advertising, which is probably the most cost effective, is about to change fundamentally, probably forever. Let me tell you what I mean. So Facebook have announced, well, not Facebook actually, Facebook are one of the biggest impacted parties actually, but Apple, iOS 14 has announced that what they're doing is increasing what you would term as probably their ad blocking capabilities, but but what it is their tracking. So it's putting up a pretty discouraging message to users where they can turn off advanced tracking on their device. What that means is that ads can't follow you about the internet, ads can't follow you in apps, ads you can't be remarketed to cost effectively. It's going to be a lot more difficult for advertisers to follow you around. Let me tell you what the impact of that actually means. One, for the end user, turning that off might feel like, hooray, I've got some control back on my data and on my information, which is the kind of the vibe at the moment, which is fine. But what it actually means is that you're just going to be served way more irrelevant ads, and you're going to see way more shite in amongst all of the stuff that you actually want to see. I definitely think that, and this is where I kind of go against a lot of marketers here, is I think that the model for advertising, for paid advertising online, is pretty broken anyway. The ability to be able to track someone online is done basically, with a cookie. You've been on a page, because you've been on the page, they decide that you might be looking at something like that, so they just flood you with adverts, and they can put the frequency really high until I've actually got into the habit where when I see an ad more than 3 times, I block it, which is a pain in the ass to have to do all the time. But it gets really annoying seeing the same, usually really shit advert that doesn't fit to me and what I like. It's pretty disruptive. It's just not a great experience. But it's a numbers game, they know if they can spend 10 grand and get to a couple of 100,000 people or a couple of million people, they'll get enough out of that at an average cost per click that they can make based on their margin. They need this many sales at this conversion, and their ROI stacks up, so they just keep throwing money at it. It's just a sales funnel. What it means is that iOS being the first to kind of strike the flag in the sand here, I think it's coming. I think everybody's going to do it. Android will be next, because they can't let Apple do what they're not doing. They want to be the flagship. How that's fixed, how it's resolved, what the impact is, it means that advertisers, their spend is going to be a lot poorer. It's going to get a lot worse. You're going to get a lot less performance back from it because it's going to be less targeted. It really hampers you, but I understand, I get it. I think it's the right move. What we need is a mechanism for folk to be able to interact with their cookie history, to tell an advertiser, I was just looking, or I clicked on it by accident, or I'm not actually thinking about buying this fucking laser pen, or whatever it is. So you're not allowed to remarket to me because I'm not interested. But I was interested in this laptop, or in this TV, or in these trainers. So you can advertise to me, and the fact that I've allowed you to advertise to me should tell you that you should be, for that audience, showing me some kind of reciprocation based advert. I'm going to sneeze. Nope. It's gone. Some kind of sneaky, some kind of reciprocation based advert where, maybe I can give you more of my information. And you can, when I worked in financial services, we knew everything about your profile. So we knew how often you'd done a quote for your car insurance, how many times you'd changed your no claims bonus about, what you'd added on and not added on. And all of that sort of stuff would go into what your risk factor was. And based on the risk factor, we had an RTP engine, which is real-time pricing, which would give each person a unique price. That's how insurance works. That could be what happens with all products. There's no reason why it can't. You do start to stray into the space of where China do, where they've got this kind of social scoring on everyone, but that's based on total communism, on who you interact with and how vocal you are against the establishment and all of that stuff. But at its core, if you're able to interact with any websites that you've been on through a platform of some sort where you say, look, these 10 websites that I was on, I was just looking, I'm not interested, I'm not in a buying phase, don't show me any adverts. A, you're going to piss me off, and B, you're going to waste your money showing me it, so let's just not waste each other's time. Excellent, great news for the users, great news for the advertisers, love it. But for those other purchases where you are, I am interested, so show me what you've got. And then advertisers can take the marketing spend that they've saved on the 60% of people that they usually used to spend on who wouldn't buy, focus on the 40% who are interested in buying, and maybe use some kind of price discount on it, or use some kind of incentive, or use something, you know, buy one get one free, or 20% off, or free delivery, or whatever it is. Use it to offset the cost and improve the value of the purchase to the end user. Conversions should go up naturally because you're spending, you're focusing your spending on a tighter audience who have told you that they are potentially in a buying phase, and you've cut out all of the stuff that you couldn't. If you offered that to any marketer today, they would bite your hand off for it. And as an end user, I would bite your hand off for it, because when I'm shopping for something, I'm interested in you telling me what it is that you can do for me. When I'm not, don't show me adverts. Don't fill up my screen with guff and stuff that I don't want to look at. So I think that's potentially where we're heading here. iOS is the first step towards that. And it's very interesting how Apple have drawn the line in the sand here, and how, you know, companies like Facebook and even Google and stuff to some extent are going to be hugely financially impacted, and all the businesses on there are going to be left scrambling trying to figure out what to do. So if you're having struggles with this kind of thing, that's why. You can speak to your Facebook kind of account managers or reps about that sort of stuff. There's loads of support stuff online, but you might want to look at trying to diversify your marketing activity and your spend from social into other activities. You really should be trying to do your own data capture and build your own audience anyway, so this just stamps the value of that even further. Anyway, time to finish the coffee and get on to the day job. Have a good day.